Hello everyone. The euro's rise against most currencies overnight raises a fascinating point. Does Cyprus matter to the markets? This may be the gamble that the EU is making. Their brinksmanship depends on investors thinking that this small island is not systemic to the eurozone. One can only imagine what the market's reaction would be if Italy, for example, shut its banks for over a week, as Cyprus has now decided to do. The stalemate between the two sides continues, and the market will watch for any movement towards a Plan B. There are apparently some ideas being floated that would involve lowering the haircut on large lot depositors to ensure the health of the offshore financial industry here, and making up the difference with contributions from the church's extensive holdings of land and shares in major Cypriot companies. But with no pressure to reopen the banks for 5 more days, we don't expect a breakthrough today. Talks with the EU and the Russians continue. Aside from Cyprus, the economic focus today will be on the purchasing managers' indices, or the PMIs, coming out around the world. China's manufacturing PMI rose to 51.7 in March from 50.4, above the consensus. The Eurozone PMIs are also expected to rise, but the gap between Germany and France is forecast to narrow only slightly, and the gap between the US and Europe is expected to widen further. That should support the dollar and keep eurodollar trading within its recent range. The Spanish bond auction will also be watched to see if Cyprus is having a spillover effect onto other peripherals. Spanish bonds did well yesterday, which is another indication that the market doesn't consider Cyprus to be systemic. If the market continues to calm down about Cyprus and the PMIs come in okay, we may witness a break of the weak resistance at 129.50 on eurodollar, with the rate possibly finding new resistance at 130.25 once the US PMI is announced. Support may come in at 128.60, around the 200-day moving average. This is Marshall Gittler, head of Global FX Strategy at IronFX, wishing you solid trading.